$9,240,000,000.
Stacking my coin, stacking my coin. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash. Stacking my coin, stacking my coin, stacking my coin. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash.
It's your boy Crypto Blood. Let's get it, let's get it.
She all on my groin. She blowing my horn. We fucking
Off the Chain, episode 75. Let's go.
it never get born. I'm loading my strap. They calling the law. Fuck around your clap. From running your jaw.
Make sure you guys hit that like button. This is the livest, hypest crypto live stream in the game. Let's go.
Shut the city down like a crypto crash.
Tonight we're going to be talking about Edward Snowden. It has been revealed that he is one of the creators of Zcash. That was crazy. We'll talk about that and the ramifications of that. I don't even hear anyone talking about Zcash much anymore. It's all about Monero in most cases. But hey, maybe there's some Zcash followers out there. Let's talk about it. Also, we've got Bored Ape Yacht Club. They have a new metaverse that has launched and it sold out in minutes. Raised over $300 million. Insane. Are we in a bubble? We'll talk to one of my guys here, CryptoKeeper, who's really into the NFT space, and also Tenpound. I'm sure he'll have some opinions about that. Let's get it, people. Shout out to the Hooli Gang for the song Stacking My Coin. You can find that on SoundCloud. Let's go, let's go.
No cap, nigga, back. Stacking my coin, stacking my coin, stacking my coin.
Also, Coinbase NFT Marketplace getting started with a slow rollout, not a good reception. We'll talk about that. This is also maybe signs of a top in the NFT markets. I don't know. You guys let me know. Bitcoin maxis are kind of salty about people using the word crypto. I'll explain why, what happened at the Bitcoin 22 conference, and also the dark side of crypto. Are you guys addicted to drugs, insomnia, anxiety because of trading these crypto markets? I would love to hear. We got an article about that. And lastly, the Saylor Line. No, forget that. We got a new line in the sand for Bitcoin. It is $27,000 Bitcoin, and I'll explain why on tonight's episode of Off the Chain 75. Let's go.
Stacking my coin, stacking my coin. Bitcoin, Litecoin.
Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks. We'll do it live. Okay.
Yeah, we're doing it live, people. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. We got a full panel. Some of my best friends in the crypto space. We got up there Tenpound. He's a
Oh snap! I'm
back, baby. I'm back.
Bro, you got censored. You censored yourself.
I censored myself. Oh God, we got MineYourBiz in the game, and also Default in a new one. He's a good. I met him down in Miami. Real good dude. CryptoKeeper in the building. What's going on, guys?
What's that?
All right, so yeah, we were talking before we started about what the NFT, the markets. Like, you guys feel like we're in a bad position, huh? I just actually went long. I covered my shorts and I just turned long on Ethereum and Bitcoin. So, shoot, what do you guys think? Is 20,000, 27,000 the new line in the sand, or do you still think Default? I want to point this to you. There was an article about 27,000 possibly being that range. But do you still see the 33,000, I think, is what Saylor was talking about? You think that's still the spot?
So just to update on that line, it's actually 30,700. I've been doing some research on, the whole Saylor fiasco. But, man, my line is, I think we're going to, like I said, 12 to 14K. I think I don't see anything positive in this market, man. So this 27K might be a temporary bottom where you get a reaction, but we break 30,000. Well, actually 29,000. Man, there's not much support until your former high of around 20K, 2017. So
yeah, I heard a thesis the other day about like that range between 30,000 and 20,000. There weren't a lot of buyers in that range, so maybe you won't see a lot of action in that range. I don't know. What's your thoughts, CryptoKeeper?
Below 30, I'm buying. So I am kind of sitting on my hands right now. I'm doing some trading, but below 30, I'm back in. I'm stacking below 30. That's it for me for sure. I don't think we're going to go down to 12 personally, but hey, I think we're going to get a big opportunity at some point. It might be a flash crash. It might be a slow burn, but I just can't see us going down that low. I don't know. We'll find out.
And they call me Crypto Bear. I mean, and I can't even see us going to 12,000, but hey,
yeah, I don't know.
It may happen. Mind your biz. What's your take, bro?
My take on it is always I'm looking at the cost to produce Bitcoin. And with Bitcoin in particular, I very much agree that maximum pain could look like that 12 to 14K, as was mentioned before, because that's the bare cost to produce. You can check out this information on free to use tools, and the chain doesn't lie, right? Like the cost to produce a Bitcoin is the cost of power times the hash rate. So yeah, that's my take on it.
How low is it? How low is it, Seth? Like right now?
Wow. So depending on the hardware that you're using, so the most commonly used piece of equipment to mine Bitcoin right now is the Antminer S9. And yeah, you're looking at roughly 14K.
Wow.
15?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, that's if you get really really efficient on some of the newer models like the S19J Pro, some of the stuff that is like now a little more fancy, but yeah, the older gear, no, you're not going to be competitive at 14K. There's going to be a lot of capitulation in mining markets at that point. And we're going to see a lot of right sizing of hardware going into markets, like El Salvador, where they're mining with free volcano power. So,
I heard we just hit peak difficulty rate on Bitcoin network. Is that true?
Yep.
It is all-time high.
Yep, he's right. It is. That's the case. On-chain metrics have never been far more bullish, and actually, Bitcoin just rolled out an upgrade to the QT wallet, the core wallet, pretty much just got upgraded as well. So there's a lot of bullish developments happening behind the scenes, and of course, as you alluded to, of course, the network, it costs about $35.7 million to secure. Over the past 7 days. So these miners are getting paid. That's just, how it is. So it's the nature of the beast.
Yeah, but on that older hardware profile, that Antminer S9, if you did get your power kind of right sized, your cost of power right sized to around 3 cents USD all in, hosting right on a rack somewhere where it's taken care of and it's producing, hashing away at its max production rate, you're still looking at about $14,000 roughly to mine one full Bitcoin on that older hardware. It's just getting into those conditions. It's tricky, man. There are groups, angel investors and VC groups that struggle to get that cost basis for their power to be able to mine one full Bitcoin at 14K. So it's going to be a shakeup, man. Both people who are in the markets, right, trying to set their longs versus their shorts, and then the people who have been investing in infrastructure over the last couple of years, they're going to struggle to know what to do as we return to a lower price. If that support isn't met, as mentioned, the Saylor line, right? If they think 27K is the max pain line, nah, man, wake up call. Infrastructure is going to suffer.
I agree.
Wow. All right, so Tenpound, where's your dollar cost? Are you dollar cost averaging here? If you were buying Bitcoin in the crypto markets in general?
I'll be honest with you. I'm not buying crypto with fiat currency at all anymore. I'm actually mining via yield farming, if you think about it, in a sense, on these alternative ledgers, just stacking decentralized stable coins and then looking to average in on those yields. That's what I'm doing personally. That's my strategy.
Oh, Tenpound,
are you taking profits? Hold on a second. Are you taking profits over into Bitcoin or ETH, or are you staying in some of these other assets?
I'm yield farming, essentially. So I'm pretty much taking some cryptocurrency that I've already acquired, that I've already earned, whether it be mining, whether it be, developing papers and starting companies, etc. And I'm applying that crypto capital into a pool where I can then yield stable coins on like a network that's the EVM equivalent, but it's on a different RPC.
Right, but what I was asking was at the point that are you flopping them and then just letting them sit in stable coins, or once you get your yield, are you then putting long term into Bitcoin?
Yeah, I'm putting it long term into Wrap BTC or Wrap Ethereum. Yeah, for sure. That's the idea. Accumulate.
So you're not locking in your gains.
At the moment, no, I'm not locking in. I'm not necessarily locking in fiat gains. No, I'm just looking to acquire more cryptocurrency.
Don't let him troll you over there. Don't let him troll you. Mr. $89 Bitcoin trolling you. I'm not locking in your game.
You're not locking. Okay, what you got, MineYourBiz?
Wrap Bitcoin is a brilliant play. That's the thing. So that's how you get to have your cake and eat it too. I've said on some other shows too, Bitcoin got a hell of a lot more interesting once you could wrap it, because now you're looking at LP on what everybody calls the hardest currency ever, right?
Doing DeFi. Bitcoin doing DeFi with gains. Bitcoin.
It doesn't get better than that. It doesn't get sweeter.
Yeah, and you can theoretically couldn't you have a DAO right now with Bitcoin as a wrapped form?
Yeah.
Because you can't in its normal fashion, so that's pretty cool. So you guys are all dollar cost averaging about right here at this price, or you're waiting to get more in?
Waiting.
If
I'm trading. Yeah. I'm definitely day traded, but that's it. This is not. I don't see anything on any time scale right now that has me really. There's nothing bullish. There's just nothing that's like, oh, we're accumulating. That failed yesterday. We closed. We made a new low on the daily. We broke the prior lows for March. It just looks. The stock market looks terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at the most. I'm watching traditional markets, and that's what's concerning me. I don't care.
They broke their lows yesterday on Friday, and for the month, like the dollars broke out that 5-year consolidation zone on the monthly, weekly, daily, on every time scale. It just what's bullish right now. That's just what I see. I could be completely wrong, but you've been looking at my segment.
I'm gonna give some.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Apologies. I was going to jump in.
Oh, what the hell? What? I had the stream. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, so this is my chart.
Biz.
This it's a bit of FA, right? I'm a mining and on-chain analytics and FA guy. Like, I don't know TA. It's not that I don't trust it. It's just I don't know it well enough to trust myself with it, if that makes sense. And this is the chart that I'm looking at. Daily, just a couple of ranges, and green for me, it's like a it's like a stoplight. It means go. I'm okay with DCA in this range and moving down. That's my take on it.
All right.
Well,
so go ahead.
No, to mind your business point, I totally understand why somebody would enter here at this price range. But yeah, as we were alluding to, equities are absolutely on a slide, and the Fed is trying to pump the dollar. So like. What can you really do? I think we still got a lot of turbulence to fare through, bros. Like, that's just the way I see it too. So
yeah, so I actually don't think the Fed is trying. Well, yeah, they are trying
to do a 75 basis point hike this week.
If they do that, oh man, I don't think the market's ready for that. Default. What are your thoughts?
I mean, you can look at the chart, and you broke those March lows. It just seems like we're going to see you're going to the next support. I just, the crypto has been bear flagging, since January. And
you said red flagging or bear flag?
Bear flagging.
Oh, I thought we
red flagging.
I thought we were
blood.
Either or. Either or. So I mean, I got Bitcoin. A target of like 17.5. That's my next
17.5 for
17.5. That's
for a bird.
For a bird? What's going on here, bro? You're talking subliminal here to me.
That's the target for Bitcoin. That's the bear flag, bear pole, bear flag target. 17.5 is next.
Interesting. Yeah, I agree. All jokes aside, I really do. I've been saying this for a while. Just people be careful. Dollar cost average, of course, that's the best way to do it. You can never time. Even the best traders really cannot time the bottom. It's just about dollar cost averaging and not shooting your shot all in one at one price. So that's my suggestion to the followers out there. Have some dry powder. So you have that opportunity to dollar cost average and lower for sure. Next on the panel or on the list today, let's go ahead and talk about, since we're talking about trading, this article from the Washington Post, which I don't really care about them too much, but I thought this was a pretty interesting headline here. Insomnia, addiction, depression, the dark side of life in crypto trading. Have any of you suffered from any of this?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? I was suffering from those before I got into crypto. So like, I mean, so like, bro.
So like, is it worse now? Is it worse now?
No, actually, no. I've gotten much happier since I've gotten into crypto.
Sounds like you're about to say severely worse. That's
no. Actually, I stopped tripping on like acid and like, you know, like, and taking shrooms and stuff when I got into crypto too. Like, in fact, it kind of like made me grow up. You know, like I think crypto is like a great way for you to like occupy your mind. No, crypto isn't my god, man. I'd say crypto is more so like my means of communication, bro. It's my speech. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we all know certain people like to, you know, pretend like certain things don't exist and certain things haven't happened throughout history. But like, bro, when certain things are written into a digital ledger and it's going to be on that blockchain forever, bro, like, dude, that sort of power makes a brother lose his mind, man. You know what I mean? So
I gotta say, Blood, I've got a pretty checkered past with drugs, and I'm pretty open about that. But I will say this on kind of a lighter note: got out of that years ago. Life has exponentially changed for me, and I too, just like Tenpound was saying, since I got into the crypto space, I've just left that behind. But I will say, like I said, on a lighter note, it's a good thing, bro, because I've made a lot of freaking money in crypto, right? I would have thrown all of that away just being wild and out playing games with drugs and whatnot. But I could see people getting in. I could, we talk about the leverage sweats. I could see people absolutely not sleeping. So I could see the insomnia side of things. I could see people that are sitting around lonely, watching the charts, whether that's, if that's all they have, I could see them getting heavy into drinking. And I could see it. So I actually, as much as I hate seeing, hearing them talk about this, I could absolutely see it.
Yeah. Mind your biz.
Yeah. So I've seen it from a different side of the industry too. We were just chatting, CryptoKeeper and myself before the stream about how, I do a day job for an agency. It's part-time at this point, but I work with a lot of writers. I work with a lot of content producers that just do they write up articles like this actually. And ironically, the kinds of people who write these sorts of articles, they've got to be on Magic Beans. They've got to be on Adderall to stay up all night to chase the news cycle. And so it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the news cycle never sleeps. And then, of course, with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets being open 24/7, it's not like stock exchanges, like they don't sleep either because the chains shouldn't ever sleep. I mean, we'll leave Solana out of it for now.
Unless you're Solana.
Broken, right?
Yes.
Isn't it broken again? Okay.
No, Solana's working. It's working as intended. Come on, man. Leave Android.
Hold on. What do you mean working? Wait a minute, Tenpound. Working as intended?
Yeah, man, it's working as intended.
Can you expound on that a little bit? I need to understand what the hell you mean by that one.
Well, all right, let's be real here, man. Like, it was meant to be a chain that's fast, efficient, and plausible. Like, literally.
Plausible?
Plausible. Yeah, plausible.
Plausible or plausible?
Plausible. Straight up. Like, they can literally, the CEO of the company and the CTO can come to a decision to just freeze the chain, freeze the whole damn chain.
So you're in support of
the validator network.
What did you say?
Over and over. Sorry. Or restart the validator network. Are we going on the 9th time now? So, that tracks.
Yeah, dude. I'm not. Now here's the thing. Like, they programmed it that way, so it's working as intended. And wholeheartedly, like, I'm not a Solana bull. I'm not a Solana bear. I'm obviously chain agnostic. I've used the tech, and I think it's really finicky, especially when you like use it with DEXs. Like, it's pretty finicky. I wouldn't hang my hat on the tech at all, but it's still working as intended.
CryptoKeeper.
Every time I turn around, I hear Solana is down, and if you're not busting my balls right now, and it's actually intended to be able to be paused, I would love to know why, because that it almost seems like the antithesis of what crypto is. If I can just hit the pause button on it,
but why are so many people
I
behind
totally feel
it
that
though,
way.
and supporting it though?
There's so much
CryptoKeeper.
money behind the
Yeah.
project.
Yep.
That's why.
there it is.
That's the only reason.
Billionaire
Money.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was a big Solana bull because I got in at under $1.
Ooh.
But yeah, I've been off Solana since the first time it went offline. As soon as I saw the tech issues, I was like, and I started looking into it. I was like, nah, this ain't it. If we're gonna have these issues, what's next? And since then, the validator, like you said, been restarted 7-8 times. You had multiple $100 million hacks. Like there's so many issues with that chain.
Well, those hacks were on bridges from Ethereum to Solana. You know, like that's like blaming a dependency, you know, for some sort of like a breach in the protocol.
So would you have, you know?
I'm gonna say that's a.
Go ahead.
It's still a sign of bad health. My apologies, but those breaches, they wound up being like they wound up being made whole by VC groups who were like, "Oh, what is it? Is that a 9-figure breach? No problem, fam. Here you go."
Which is
That's
insane.
weird.
I can't. Yeah, that's insane.
Real talk.
So, would you guys, to the viewers out there, like on your channels, are you telling people to buy or stay away from Solana because there's so much money, so much VC capital behind it, it's bound to go higher. So it's like a give. Like, do you tell people not to get into it, or what? Like, what would be your take on that? I feel the same way about XRP. Like, I don't buy XRP and support that because it is the antithesis of Bitcoin and cryptos. To be your own banker, you're trying to help support the bankers. What's your take?
I just wanted to say that I think Solana is kind of like too big to fail, and maybe that's why we have these VCs bailing them out. I think
it's too rich to fail.
Yeah,
it's just too rich to fail.
I wouldn't advise people to buy crypto. Not financial advice, but I wouldn't advise them. I'm saying don't buy Bitcoin here. So why would I tell you to buy Solana?
Right.
Mature market. So yeah, my take is no.
I think almost any alt right now could be picked up by the likes of Chamath Palihapitiya and the crew, if you will, the big time VC money. I think almost any alt could get picked up, and they could say, hey, this is the one, and this is what we're pumping. And I believe that they would have the ability to do it. And as of right now, with the regulatory status and the framework that's there, they wouldn't be doing anything wrong.
What are you telling your audience about Solana?
Kind of similar thing, actually. Keeper, I think he just hit the nail on the head. Chamath specifically, I mean, I'm not going to call the guy a bad actor, but he is very open about being involved in some of these plays, and he's gone on a record. Keeper, there's a clip that I did a duet with over on TikTok.
Oh, he tells him not to mess up. He tells him not to screw up the game or something like that, right?
Yeah, basically he's giving away a page out of his playbook, like, wait, yeah, don't screw up this pump because I need another week to dump this. Right? Like he's being open about it. So I guess kudos for honesty, like letting us know that whatever the sucker punch is coming, but then he still sucker punches the retail. So I've got some problems with that and Solana, and my audience, they're not hearing positive things about Solana from me.
Yeah, that's a good way to posture right now in this market, I think, man. Like, seriously, I don't think anybody should be giving out financial advice when it comes to investing in crypto. But, there's something to be said about these ex-Facebook cats, manipulating these markets, man. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. And I know that there was a lot of people during, like, the whole Facebook Libra movement where they created a consortium of companies that were supposed to be, like, creating products for blockchain. You know what I mean?
Right.
DM. Yeah, exactly. Under, of course, Facebook's guys at the time. And, man, I feel like that just turned into a mastermind as to how to manipulate this asset class. Yeah, man, it's kind of horrific. It's actually atrocious, if you ask me, for the most part.
But if we're honest with ourselves, do we truly believe, because I don't, Okay, we have regulatory framework for the stock market, but I still believe that I always talk about them as these dinner parties. I still believe the dinner parties happen. These conversations are still happening, no matter if we're talking about the stock market, the crypto market, right? These people are still friends. They still have enough money to move these markets around. I believe that the conversations still happen, and I think it happens on all markets.
Of course.
So what, like the Monopoly man and then like the Planters Peanut guy, they all take their monocles. They're like, what crypto we're gonna pump this week? Let's discuss.
Yep.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. Well, for me, back to this whole topic of addiction, depression, and insomnia, I don't have that issue anymore. But boy, in 2017, 18 was a rough year for many of us because I was heavily involved in altcoins back then. Man, it got crushed. So I suffer from some PTSD or whatever you call it from that still. You know, I'm very hesitant about buying certain products or projects, I should say, because of that. So hey, I don't know. Mental health. Take care of yourself.
Can I just put that on the label for crypto, just like as one of the warning and side effects? Warning may cause PTSD, insomnia, addiction to drugs.
Addiction.
Get involved in crypto at your own risk. Can't they just do that?
They need to.
Okay.
The Surgeon General warning. Yo, blood. Remember Cryptopia, bro?
That's old school right there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's old school. But yeah, so that's interesting. Let's talk about since we were kind of talking about Bitcoin. This one article from The Verge talks about Bitcoin and the whole conference that happened. I think I saw CryptoKeeper out there, Bitcoin 22, and this article is pretty interesting because it talks about my man. What's his name? What's the comedian? Darnell Rawlings. I know you guys probably remember him. Ashy Larry. Dave Chappelle, Ashy Larry. Well, he was on stage and he kept talking about crypto this, crypto that, crypto this at the Bitcoin 22 conference. And people started heckling him, man. They were getting mad at him because they were including Bitcoin, because he was including Bitcoin in crypto. Like, are they going a little bit too far, in your opinions?
Who's speaking on it? Who's speaking on it?
I think it's because of the NFT craze, bro, wholeheartedly. And as I was alluding to with Solana, man, some of these NFT contracts, bro, they've got possibility too. Even USDC is possible on Ethereum. Like, I think that's the thing, bro. You
can. You're right.
Bro,
You're right.
Dude, seriously, man. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize, man, like you could buy an NFT and then the person that mints that NFT could actually destroy it inside your wallet. You know, like, for the most part, if developers want to be nefarious with this technology, they can be as nefarious as they'd like. There's no regulation really stopping people from doing whatever the hell they want with the tech. But here's the thing, right? As you're alluding to, he wants people to just realize that crypto is an infrastructure for the dollar. He's not talking about just buy Bitcoin. He's talking about like, yo, you could come into this space and you can make a ton of dollars, bro. You could make a ton of crypto as dollars, man, and just completely disregard Bitcoin. I think that's what he's getting at here for the most part.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, with in that regard, the one thing I don't like that I did notice at the Bitcoin conference down there. First of all, it was a great time. We had a great time, made a lot of great connections, enjoyed ourselves, had fun. All right, but there is a lot of the maxi-ism, and that's what I don't like, because let's be fair. This is absolutely a movement, and it's not just Bitcoin. There are a lot of things that you can't do with Bitcoin, and that's okay, right? It doesn't need to be able to do everything. It needs to be able to do what it does well. And it has been doing that. It has been a great store of value. It is that digital gold, if you will. And I think sometimes people have this idea that you can't be converting things in your mind to dollars, which, being crypto centric, yeah, we want to get to a point where one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin, one ETH is one ETH is one ETH. But I think that's going to take time. And so, yeah, exactly what Tenpound was saying. he's talking about converting everything to fiat, which the crypto diehards are saying, wait a minute, fiat is absolute trash. That's not what this is about. But the reality is this is a movement as a whole.
But 90% of them still accept fiat in their day jobs.
100%
90,
of them.
yeah, 99% and 99% of those people there at that conference.
Come on, bro.
Every
Who's not
2
picking
weeks,
up 100 if it's on the ground in front of them, right?
Man.
Nope, Bitcoin only. I'm not picking up that $100 bill.
Could
Yeah,
you
right.
pay fiat to get into the conference?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, but
absolutely.
it's all about Bitcoin. One Bitcoin.
That's a good
Bitcoin.
point. That's a good point.
You know, I've been trolling the maxis for years now. I've been said, you know, that they're like Peter Schiff. They just like Bitcoin. People took my, you know, I saw people start saying that afterwards. But my whole thing is, it's the whole Bitcoin maxi. It's a cult. It's unrealistic. It's not going to be the standard.
And I got some good friends that are maxis, like some well-known people, man. And
Blood, I could see somebody in your position being like getting to be a maxi, right? Buying it. No, I'm just saying I could see it to where you get in and you say, wow, I have made exponent. So I got in so early. Part of the reason I love ETH so much is because of how much money I've made from it. Let's be clear, right?
But so you're not an ETH maxi though.
No, I'm not an ETH maxi, but I sure will defend it. Right. Even when I know last night it was like 8,500 gwei to do a freaking transaction. Like it was absolutely out of
we're gonna
this world.
get to why that happened.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to why that happened. But the thing is,
sounds like a twist on your mama joke, right? It's like, that's not what your chain said last night. Ooh. Yes, President. I mean, we can just walk around the entire crypto market cap and say that joke to everybody. We'd be right, depending on the day of the week. So
I would be more accepting of an ETH maxi than a Bitcoin maxi,
because everything can be built on top of it. Or
you can literally do, if they can fix the scalability issue, you literally can do everything on Ethereum. You got Bitcoin on Ethereum. You know what I'm saying? You technically could.
Yo, can I take the time to plug Optimism real quick? Yo, I had to throw on the Trek shades because I'm about to like really melt some minds here. Seriously though, man.
Like you're the only ones that got shades just laying around ready to go.
Oh man, I forgot. I don't have mine sitting here.
Yo, but I'm seriously though, Optimism is dropping the token May 3rd. For anybody that's utilized any layer 2 application that's been deployed on top of Optimism. And you know, pretty much you get 600 tokens for free if you just used it once. But you could have earned up to like 30,000 tokens if you like, you know, actually like voted in like DAO proposals. You were like a reoccurring user, you know, like you bought some NFTs, you were involved in Gitcoin grants, you know, like, bro, seriously, like layer 2 is the truth. Ethereum scalability layer 2s are the future. Like it's pretty much free money. It's like the new Uniswap. Like just use Arbitrum, Optimism, you know, like all these other like layer 2s, man. Like, you know, hey, something good is going to come out of it. You're going to get your blessing for sure.
Speaking of free money, we were talking about ENS before we went live. Ethereum name service. Did you guys get your free ENS tokens
last year?
Did you claim them? Okay, all right, cool. You got, I think tomorrow is the last day, either tomorrow or the 4th of May, to get your ENS tokens.
May the 4th be with you.
Yeah, may the 4th be with you. So don't forget that, ladies and gentlemen. Get your ENS tokens. I think they're going for about $22 a token right now. So depending on how much action you did back in the day when that launched, you may have a pretty bag there sitting for you.
Dude, I had 20 G's when it first dropped, bro. When ENS was sitting at like $50-$60 a token too. It was a good time.
Yeah. I literally just found some wallets that I didn't know I had ENS names on, so I got a bag too. So I'm glad I remembered to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's look at some of these comments really quickly. So ETH gonna get wrecked when PulseChain launches.
Come on, man.
Let's go. Richard Hart gangs represent. Where are my Hexicans at?
Oh, I just threw up in my mouth 10 pounds. God.
Yep. But he just took an airdrop from your throw up somehow. I don't even know how that works, but Tenpound just did it. He just monetized your vomit in your mouth. Get used to it.
Why the hate for PulseChain and Hex and all of that? I mean, I don't know. I'm still confused about what its
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna have a technical answer for you whatsoever. Here's my answer, right? And this is gonna sound terrible, but Richard Hart to me comes off as the most narcissistic freaking individual on planet Earth.
He is.
And when he was on, I've seen him on a number of shows, but when he was on Wendy's show, when Wendy was trying to interview him, to have him explain to her viewers, like, what is Hex? His response continued to be, listen, it just continues to go up and to the right. What more do they need to know? And he'll go from that to then talking way over people's heads. And it's like, listen, man, like, nobody's asking for your light up Louis Vuitton bag and your watches and all of this. Like, explain what it does, right? And answer the question. That's it, right? I don't know.
He's pretty much, yo, bro. He's the antithesis of a rich white douchebag. He just has everything handed to him from a young age, bro.
Man, douchebag is a really nice way of putting that. That's like a really nice way of putting that.
I don't know. Let me get some counterpoint here. Let me push back a little bit here. So here.
We got an undercover Hexy in here. We got a Hexy in here.
I'm not even going to talk about Hex. I'm going to talk about Richard J. Schuler. He's doxxed. He knows it. His number's up. He look up Panama Crypto. Look up look up the Panama Crypto story, because he got jacked in Panama. I mean, I can tell you a little bit about Richard J. Schuler. His ex-fiance Heidi, who apparently is no longer part of the picture, him living in Panama because he actually did retire early from being the so-called spam king, because there were no spam laws at the time, so it wasn't illegal. And by the way, Fortune 500 company that's ever done any kind of marketing push, they all did spam too. That's how they got to their market position. So yeah, it's this guy, he comes across a certain way because he didn't just have everything handed to him. He grew up in a pretty charmed area, right? Miami-Dade County is not bad, right? If your parents got you raised in that zip code, but we all know not all Miami-Dade County is Miami Beach. It's not all fancy. So this is a guy who worked really hard early on in life. And then he did achieve something for himself early on. What he does nowadays, though, it's like Trump derangement syndrome. Keeper, you just let him set up rent free in your head, bro. If you're angry about it, like, just don't talk about him. Don't give him time. Don't give him press. Really, but to say that he had everything handed to him, I don't believe that. There's enough about his life on record that you can look up, right?
But in fairness, to say that he worked his butt off to get where he got doesn't give him the free pass to be a freaking douchebag all the time. You know what I mean? Like, that's all it is for me. I just like, why do you need to be a jerk to people when they're literally trying to learn from you? I'll be honest with you. I would love to know what PulseChain, all I know about Hex and PulseChain is that the PulseChain is literally a direct copy of Ethereum. That's all I know. So
I mean, it's even more than that. It's a direct copy, but with all the programs installed already. Like, literally all the smart contracts, everything, just all of it forked. All you gotta do is just come over, set up shop. He already took care of, like, migrating your contracts and everything.
Do you support it?
Trilla, they call me 305.
Hey, I smoked a blunt with him. True story. I smoked a blunt with Rick Ross. Good dude.
Oh man, yeah, I'm still thoroughly confused about PulseChain and what it's supposed to be. I never even looked in. It's a money grab. That the real? So
okay, so here's what happened.
That's the real money grab, CryptoKeeper.
Okay, so here's this is what he did, right? This is what he did. He decided to put up a web page saying, "I want you to sacrifice your Ethereum. Okay, I need you to make a sacrifice. All right. With this sacrifice, you're pretty much saying, blockchains are a mechanism for speech, free speech, and free speech can't be censored. And this is not." He said in a disclaimer, this is not a promise to get paid off of somebody's work or future gain. Like, literally, he just allowed people to donate to his ICO, but without calling it an ICO.
When I start hearing sacrifices, and I'm like, this is some Jim Jones, like,
yes, the Kool-Aid, bro. It's the Kool-Aid.
Like, sacrifice. Why that word? Why you could have picked any word out there? You picked sacrifice.
Listen, the man has made a ton of money, and I don't think that he's ever going to want. I don't think you can't say anything about that. How he actually got it and how it looks for the people that have sacrificed their ETH, or the people that are locked into holding for whatever exponential amount of time you've got to hold on Hex to not get. Listen, you get penalized 51% of your bags if you pull out. I believe if you pull out, I think that's the number. Pull out early out of your staking contract. 51% of your bags.
Shout out to Crypto King with the 0. He gave me, like, for my baby blood, he gave me, I don't know how many hundreds or 1,000 or something Hex to stake, or he wanted me to stake for 75 years. I'm like, 75 years?
You'd be dead, bro.
Exactly. Come on, man.
That's the whole
that
point,
stuff
right?
is crazy,
Until
bro.
you're dead, I'll handle it in between now and then. I'll handle it between now and the 75 years.
Shout out to him, though, for sending, I guess my kid is a Hexian now. Oh, Lord.
Oh, boy.
We need to go to
funny
church.
story about Richard Hart, though, is back when he used to do interviews a little more candidly when he was still a Bitcoin maxi, he's, on at least one occasion or two, he started his interview by saying, yeah, I've got a pseudonym. It's called Richard Hart. Because back in the day, I used to sell sex toys, and I get your dick heart.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
On record.
Wow.
That's a story I didn't need to know.
Not my words.
Yeah, that's a cool story, man. That's a nice little origin story. That's interesting, man. Hey, yeah, Richard Hart, man, like, at one point he was like, you know what, dude, I'm airdropping Hex to all these Bitcoin maximalists, man. And literally, that's why he's got such a huge army of Hexicans, dude, that were also Bitcoin maximalists. You know, he just didn't airdrop them to any of the wallets that were involved in the Mt. Gox hack, because he got rinsed in that too. So,
I've heard him talk about Bitcoin as being pure trash now, though, as well. So I don't know where that goes from being a maxi to being trash. I don't know how that.
Because your opinions should change. You should have liberty and the ability to change your position on something.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't even care. I'm cool with him. Actually, I think it takes more balls to do that than to say, you know, just I'm a maxi, or now, you know, you hear now the maxis are transitioning to what are they calling themselves? I forgot what they say, like limited altcoins, or I forgot the term they're using now. So hey, man, your opinions can change, and you should be able to pivot and move. That's how you stay nimble, and that's how you stay
Those
quick.
opinions are definitely going to change when you make a tremendous bag off of, you know, whatever project you put out there. I mean, I really don't have a negative or positive opinion about him, because to me, he's kind of like Elon to me. A lot of these people, he's a marketer.
Same.
He's a marketer. Like,
Yeah,
he's not doing this.
Good point.
He's not putting out these websites. He's not doing the tech. He doesn't know about Hex more than you or me.
Do you think it's a persona? Is it a persona?
Yeah, of course.
Is he a persona? Like
Yes,
an actual persona?
Of course.
Definitely.
He might be.
Where is Roger
in
Ver?
crypto, though?
Anyone seen Bitcoin Jesus?
He's low key. I talked to somebody that had a convo with him offline, and I think he's just living his best life. He's another one of those characters who's like independently wealthy. He doesn't need crypto to live his best life somewhere, and like apparently in Japan, I guess is his country of choice where he likes to spend most of his time. So, I mean, I think that Roger tried to pick a side in the block size debate when it mattered, right? And it's no longer relevant now. He tried to pick a side, and the outcome wasn't what he expected. And all the nonsense with CSW, and especially with his toady, the billionaire guy, the diddler good guy that's always trying to pick up underage girls in the Caribbean. That guy, I'm not even going to mention his name because it sounds like defamation, but I think he just got upset that those guys kind of fleeced him, you know, in the block size debate. And I think now he's just tired, man. He doesn't get paid to go promote BCH per se, and running Bitcoin.com mattered to him for a while. So yeah, I think he's just done, man. Like Blood was saying, I think it's okay to change your opinions. I think that's what happened with Roger. He just changed his opinion on whether or not there was upside to go be a free, you know, debate professional for block size differences in blockchains.
Right.
Just like
Let's
I said,
go ahead.
just like I said with Richard, when your opinions are going to change when that bag changes, and that bag for BCH doesn't change. So why would you be out here jumping out the window for a project that's really, you look at the price, it really hasn't done nothing in years. So he probably is just like, he made his money, and he's probably just living off of that now. I mean, BCH as a project, they came out with smart contracts and everything else.
They did.
It hasn't took to the market. The market has not took it. So
yeah, that's
what
true.
it is.
Not only that, smart
Not
contracts.
all about the
they
tech
had
all the time, unfortunately.
Great mixer. They had NFT creation from the wallet. I mean, Ravencoin, if anybody followed
I
that
remember
project,
Raven.
like you can make tokens from the wallet client. BCH had that too on the desktop wallet client. You could create your own sub tokens and NFTs and stuff without knowing any code. And like is being mentioned, nobody cared. Retail didn't show up, right? So they were like, okay, take the ball, go home, I guess.
So is BCH dead?
Yes.
No, it's not dead.
I don't think it's dead.
It's on every relevant exchange. It still has some liquidity. It's not dead, but I don't think it has a positive future. Probably by next cycle.
I mean, let's be real here, man. It's going to go the way of Bitcoin Diamond and Bitcoin Gold, bro.
No, not that bad. Come on now, man.
I know. By the end of next cycle, bro.
Don't disrespect Bitcoin Jesus and his sacrifices.
Okay, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, he did a lot. He did a lot to get people to spend Bitcoin.
He did. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I remember back in the day, he was the voice. I mean, traveling all over the world. So yeah, you have to give him some credit there.
To braid the last two conversations too, the Bitcoin.com, their exchange was the very first centralized exchange to list Hex. So where do you think Roger Vere's biggest bags are right now?
I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about that. He sure did. He's
a closet Hex maxi.
Someone told me that Bitcoin.com mixes your coins. Was that you, Tenpound?
Nah, that wasn't me.
Okay, yeah. Someone told me that Bitcoin.com allows you to they do their old tumbling right there within their platform, but I don't know. Cool. So let's talk about, we've got this one here. Let's jump over to the NFT space and topic. Coinbase NFT Marketplace. Not so great of a launch. 900 transactions in the opening week. That's horrible. What is that all about? Is it just bad marketing? We know they have all the money and all the experts behind the marketing. They did a great Super Bowl marketing campaign. Went over very well. What is your take on why the NFT marketplace was a flop so far? Keeper.
Excuse me. You know what? I don't know why it's been a flop so far, but I don't think it's going to stay that way. You're right. The Super Bowl, I will tell you, the most genius, in my opinion, the most genius ad on the Super Bowl was the Coinbase one, and it was so simple. It just had the QR code doing the little bouncy thing, and I remember, I knew immediately when I saw it, oh, this is a crypto ad, right? But everyone in the room, I looked around to all of my non-crypto family members, and they're like, oh, what's this? What'd they do? Reached into their pocket, pulled out their phone, and all of a sudden, guess who's signing up for Coinbase and saying, hey, CryptoKeeper, you know what I mean? And then wanting to talk to me about crypto. So it was genius, but I will say this. Coinbase is working towards something that no one has been able to do yet, and I'll be impressed if they're able to do it. Albeit it's very centralized, it is actively acting as a bank right now, which is, obviously, like we said earlier, kind of the antithesis of crypto. But let me say this. No one has been able to be a one-stop shop yet. That is going to be the goal with Coinbase. And if they are able to achieve that, they're already the most user-friendly of the bunch of all the different exchanges. It is very easy to use. If they're able to be a one-stop shop where they can do, where you can crypto, you can yield farm, you can, participate in other DeFi type activities, you can buy, sell, trade NFTs. I don't know how you can, say that they're not going to succeed. So I think it's just going to take some time to warm up. OpenSea has the market cornered right now, but I don't think it's going to stay that way for too terribly long. Yeah.
Also, LooksRare. LooksRare is great. The Wyvern NFT exchange is launched as well, and it was a gas guzzler last night alongside that other deep contract that we're going to talk about. You know, and bro, it's just a fierce competition. And let's be real here, man. Majority of these people that are trading NFTs, man, like they're not trying to like mess around with like, yeah, Coinbase is the feds. They're not trying to mess around with these centralized exchanges to conduct commerce with NFTs when majority of NFT transactions are done peer to peer. It's like, what's the point?
And there's money laundering, so they definitely don't want to go.
Yeah,
to
but
the
MetaMask is, or not MetaMask, but the OpenSea is still taking their cut. I mean, don't get it twisted. They're still taking 2.5% on every single transaction. Like they're making their money, right? And so there's still a level of obviously centralization there, because if OpenSea's employees go away, OpenSea isn't going to continue to operate. It's not like it's some open source code where everybody can just utilize it without any back end.
It's a couple of repositories stitched together with like some private repositories in the background that's operated and owned by Coinbase. I know this because Blood and I we were experimenting with open source assets that OpenSea provides. But that's besides the point. I digress. You were saying, Blood?
No, I was just wondering what the question, what the comment on the screen here. It has this guy Erin says that NFT has already popped, and the bag holders and social media support system is keeping the curtain up while they collect the last guap around the pole. Default.
I mean, with that last comment, I mean, who knows? We'll see within time. We'll see if the price dips. And that was my whole view with the NFT market. We've been talking about this, you know, multiple times. But I just see with the Coinbase thing, why would you, if you're an NFT creator, why would you want a KYC exchange to put your art when you're, if you're definitely, I call everything cash grab in crypto. I mean, everything really is a cash grab. But if you're going for the cash grab, why do I want to pay taxes on that cash grab? Like, that to me seems like the real drawback, because I think crypto.com as well has the same type of marketplace. A lot of these centralized exchanges are getting into this, NFT market because, this has been the wave and they're trying to get it into that market share. But why would you, as a creator, why would you want to go to this centralized KYC marketplace to sell your art and pay taxes on it when they're going to take a cut? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Well, Yuga Labs, they had everyone do KYC for that launch of the other side land NFTs, which we'll get to, and everyone had to do KYC there, and they had no problem getting people to pony up that info. So I don't know, man. It's just about, how much am I going to make in exchange for my information? I think everyone has a price, right?
Hey, by the way, that platform that they launched, that overside platform, it's technically a Binance honeypot. You know that, right? Like, Binance is a part of the Gnosis multi-sig for the project. And also, like, that contract is, like, very unoptimized. Like, it's got, like...
Oh, for gas? Yeah.
Yeah. Not just for gas, but also, if you look at the read-write parameters on that contract, it's dog shit. Like, I'm putting that lightly, by the way, by saying it that way. It's just a joke, really.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, it's a joke because, like, literally, they've got like alpha and beta functions in their contract that should have been completely removed.
Wow.
Yeah, like, it just made no sense.
So
like,
otherside.xyz is the website, and of course, they raised $300 million in an hour or so for a game that it says play trailer, but no, that doesn't mean play the beta or alpha of the game. No. It's to play the video to show you what listen, man, I just feel like we are getting a little ahead of ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. What's your take on that, MineYourBiz?
Yeah, wow. Yeah, with Coinbase and the NFT platform and all the KYC, everything's been mentioned so far. I mean, I would just be rehashing what everybody else already said at this point. I feel pretty strongly about it as well. Coinbase, I don't find that it has a really great user experience. I onboarded a family member onto Coinbase because they needed to get some collateral to mint something, ironically on OpenSea, right, on a competitor last year. And they went out and bought like, I don't know, $300 worth of Ethereum to make sure that they could cover some gas fees. And they tried to withdraw it from Coinbase. It totally wasn't. I had to cover them anyway. So like, but they wanted to get just a little bit of Ethereum, and they buy some Ether, $300 worth, and then they try to turn around and take it off exchange. They've submitted their documentation a couple of times, right? Upload the photo ID and I think some other form of ID, and they do that like twice in the process, and they still get that rejection notice from Coinbase saying, "Oh, cool, you want your crypto? We'll get back to you in like 3 to 7 days." What is that? It's unusable in my opinion. So
I had the same problem with Binance US.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm not saying that any of them are great. Centralized exchanges are all giving people terrible experiences this way. And that's why, like, I haven't touched one in forever now. It's all been DEXs, all been AMMs, all been permissionless protocols. And so I think anybody who's been in the space long enough to be disappointed by, like, every centralized exchange they've ever used or ever touched, we just all know better, right? We're like, yeah, I'm not going to touch the stove anymore. You get burned when you touch a hot stove. Whoa, rocket science. Amazing. I finally learned the lesson. So for most of us who've dealt with that, it's like, okay, well, Coinbase, you can say that it's decentralized all you want, but we all have doubts, and we all should, because you burned us multiple times. So
is this the canary in the coal mine as far as maybe a top or a pause in the momentum with regards to NFTs? What is your take on this not doing that well?
No, I'm going to, because it doesn't have the market share. It's just launched. You know, they did a lot of advertisement and everything, but it's, like I said, for a creator that's, you know, as a creator, like I have NFT launch. I'm not going to go to Coinbase, KYC myself, and launch my NFT on there. You know, sell the NFTs where there's not enough buyers, obviously. And then on top of that, have to pay those fees and taxes on that platform because of that platform. It doesn't make sense as a NFT creator, as a developer. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't think it's too small of a market share, and it just doesn't make any sense. As you know, let me tell you where
it's gonna work for them. This is where I think it's gonna work for them. I agree with you. So we've got an NFT project so we've got an NFT project that's you know, dropping here before too long as well. I'm not going to get into shilling that, but I'm just saying that
shill your shit.
We wouldn't be doing the same thing. Here's where I think it's going to happen. I think the people that MineYourBiz was just talking about is family members that are just coming in, right? They know when we talked to some of the companies that we are collaborating with for our NFT project, right? One of them was a gun range, and I asked the manager and the assistant manager at the gun range, like, hey, I thought they were going to think I was crazy. I said, y'all know what NFTs are? And their immediate response was yes. But the moment I got into the crypto side of things, lost. And so there is a disconnect between the NFT space and the crypto space, even though you need to have some sort of, you know, at least the ability to buy and sell, you know, ETH or set up a MetaMask wallet or whatever the case may be. But where I think it's going to happen is going to be those new people that picked up their phone for the Super Bowl commercial and took the picture. They say, oh, shoot, they got an NFT marketplace on here too. Oh, now I can be a part of the NFT space as well. And I think that's where it's going to start. It's going to be catching a lot of the noobs on the front end, and I think it will grow from there. Again, it's not going to be something that I'm going to be diving deep into, but there is going to be a lot of new people, just like, you know, other Coinbase products that are going to be diving in. I think it'll be the same there.
Hey, so I got these Shrek shades on, so I'm going to use one of his terms. They're ring fencing. That's what they're doing for the NFT marketplace. They're just ring fencing for the next cycle. You know, when the noobs come in, let's say Bitcoin rallies from its all-time, you know, from its low, whatever that low may be during this bear cycle, and it goes catapulting past 100K, and people are like, you know, looking to trade the hottest NFTs. You know, like Coinbase wants to posture, where, you know, ring fence the early noobs in that cycle, the new people. I think that's what it comes down to: fresh blood, fresh money, fresh thoughts, people not knowing what's good and what's bad, and, you know, just taking advantage of their naivety.
Yeah, shout out to Trek.
I'm going to drop another Trekism, though. If
Go
I
ahead.
can drop another, sorry, I don't have the shades. I'm just going to pretend. So, here's another
and take your shirt off too. Because that's what I was gonna say. This guy Trek is having less clothes on by the episode. I'm like, All right, bro. I need you to go ahead and put some shirts on here, brother.
So in loving memory of Shrek, who cannot be here with us today, sadly. These are also, I mean, this is a blue dog. It is. They're trying to bring something that they think is unique, but it's just like so many others, right? It's a blue line product, and they're just another dog in this race, but they might be the slowest one, right? Just another blue dog, I think. That's my Trekism.
I hear you. So, this is a comment that really got me thinking of another question. Apex Cypher said the NFT bubble bursting will be a bloodbath, but I'm not sure. Like, because each asset is a unique piece on the blockchain, it's just going to be weird to see how what a bear market looks like for the NFT.
It will be a bloodbath, but it'll be in the form of a whole bunch of people getting stuck. They're going to be stuck with all of this freaking art, right? Where they're like, well, what do I do with this? Because there's not going to be the liquidity to get in and out of the assets. We talked about this the other night.
So that's what I'm saying, though. So will it really look like a bloodbath, though? I don't think it will.
Won't be. It won't be a bloodbath because people are going to get clever and they're going to realize, oh snap, I own this art. I can make content with this art. And if the art that I make with it is dope, then like they're probably going to be like, hey, bro, this project is sick. The people that are looking at them making art, like digital. There was this one crypto punk that decided to do a rap battle between this other ape, because they wanted to sell their projects. You know what I mean? They were trying to sell their projects. So they were animating their character saying what they were saying. And yeah, man, they got out. They got it. People are going to get clever here, man. And when they realize that they actually have commercial rights to use the art any way they see fit, dude, it's just going to like take people's content creation mindset to a whole nother level when it comes down to integrating with smart contracts. Yeah, and we have yet to see that.
I agree. So the bloodbath isn't going to be that everyone's just absolutely losing their shirt. Right. The bloodbath is going to be, man, I'm stuck with this JPEG. What the heck am I supposed to do with this thing? Now I can't get back to whatever it is that they might want to. I don't know what just happened. Can y'all still hear me? Yeah,
we can hear you. Just can't see you.
All right, I'll figure it out here in just a second. But yeah, it'll be back to like, well, what do I do with it? I can't get back to fiat. I can't get back to ETH. I can't get back to. I'm just stuck with this thing. And so that's where I think it's going to be interesting.
So as well. That's exactly where I think it's going
to. I agree with that point. I think where these NFTs will have utility, if they have some type of intrinsic value, as far as like maybe if you hold NFT, you're getting some type of I would say dividend. From another platform. Yeah. I think in those cases, those type of NFTs will retain its value. Or even if it loses some value, you could still have some liquidity. And so,
like we know that Bored Ape ain't losing no value because people are creating like secondary and third and tertiary benefits from holding it, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, for the most part, don't mean to interrupt you, Default, but to what Blood was saying, like if you held like a bunch of mutant apes and bored apes, you got airdropped a bunch of ape token, and ape token is at $25 right now. So yeah, you're right. And
like 16 now.
16, okay, yeah, probably did.
We might as well segue into that. ApeCoin, yes, it's down. It was rallying hard. And I think, the article talked about its reasons why they thought ApeCoin rallied. I personally think it rallied because people were buying the coin in order to get some of that other side land. You needed the coin to purchase, to enter into the whole NFT, whatever you call it, auction or whitelist or whatever. So I think that's why you saw a lot of people buying up and then maybe dumping it right after the sale ended. What's your take on ApeCoin? And then we'll talk about we'll get back to that other side platform launch that Yuga Labs is doing.
Okay, so
take that.
I'll take it for sure, bro, because like I've seen the transpire of like wealth, from a secondhand perspective. One of my homies, he was adopted by this Indian royal family. He holds a bunch of apes, actually. He's got like 5 or 6 different apes. And he told me he was on a yacht party that was exclusively being held by Yuga Labs. And they airdropped the token right then and there on that yacht. And also they made an announcement that, Animoca Games, Improbable, and a bunch of other people from the Web3 space were all going to come together to create this DAO. And he pretty much just like gave me the inside scoop and, told me that he was hanging out with Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg on his boat, and they're talking about pretty much making an album and selling the tracks for ApeCoin too. And it was kind of crazy. When I realized,
I think this ApeCoin is going to be a very valuable coin here in the future. I'm going to start buying some of this ApeCoin on the dip.
Well, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. They're going to move on to their own RPC. They're starting their own chain.
Right. That's right.
So, that's what they pretty much said because they crashed Ethereum. Because
MineYourBiz, why are you laughing, bro?
Because this is this quarter's playbook, man. This is the page out of this quarter's playbook. You don't like what's happening on Ethereum? Start your own EVM chain. Don't like what's happening? Copy the chain state. So and here's where we take these cheap shots at like the Hex and Pulse community, but the reality is the moment they announced that intention, everybody started doing it. Like everybody, we want our own EVM chain because we don't like the gas fee structure. Shib's doing it, and now these guys at Yuga Labs, they're not the only ones either, right? Like you got, I just heard, I covered it on my show the other day. There's this thing called Doge Chain. I kid you not. DogeChain.dog is the name of is the address, the web address. But they're going to let you wrap apparently your Doge coins to become the utility token on that chain. Like everybody wants to do this because the Solidity contracts are all like quadruple or 100x audited. And so it's not a risk anymore. You launch up an EVM chain and I mean, smart contracts from everything from NFTs to DAOs to now zero knowledge mixing like Tornado Cash. Like it's all done. It's all in the open source, free. So like, why wouldn't you do it? It's easier than Cosmos and IBC even. But then now it's an app specific chain.
Let's be fair. The idea of value is an abstract idea, but it's actually very simple. You and I agree on it. Multiple people agree this has value, so therefore that is the value. Now, Yuga Labs says, hey, wait a minute. We have got what ultimately becomes the biggest, best marketed, in the NFT space. We have an ability right now to capitalize on this. So what are we going to do? We're going to create something else, i.e. the land sale. And in between those two, we're going to put another asset out there that is our asset, that is the ApeCoin that people have to buy. Now the people that see so much value in the ecosystem say, well, I got to be a part of that too. So it is actually a genius marketing play. Whether it holds up or not, we'll find out. But it is absolutely a genius play. I think with the NFT space, what it comes down to is, are these projects actually going to deliver utility? And I think the utility in real life, actually teaching somebody something, actually giving something tangible to somebody, actually allowing someone to benefit in real life off of the NFT is a totally different conversation than, hey, bro, I got some dope freaking art that you can turn into your character in the metaverse or whatever.
Yeah, Yuga Labs is doing it the best. If I had to bet on a production house, I would go with Yuga Labs all day. So I mean, the whole ApeCoin ecosystem, that whole thing, man.
I got all the money, at least. I'll tell you.
I don't know, man. I don't think what happened last night was a smash hit. I don't think it was a success at all. And in fact, I think it's quite the contrary. It's them creating their own echo chamber of a metaverse that they're claiming is going to be interoperable, but with no real plans or documentations or even a Git book describing how.
But okay, so you're saying from a technical standpoint, but you look at from the money, because the money tells you whether or not it's been successful. I would say
I disagree, man. I think that
in an hour is pretty successful to me.
Okay, well, cool. That's because they have a ton of marketing and influencers and people behind them already because they created something that.
But how much money did they spend? How much input did they put in to output 300 million? They didn't spend. I know they couldn't have spent more than 50 million.
No, okay, for sure. But was it at the book? Oh, sorry.
sorry to interject here, but just like from early in our conversation, we were talking about a Solana wormhole bridge for ETH, how there was a VC group that they covered a 9-figure L. So I'm going to push back on what Blood just said. And I think I really like what Tenpound is, like the foundation he's laying here for dissent against the whole ApeCoin thing. Because yeah, a 9-figure raise might be nothing. Might be a few VCs or angels in collusion. Might not be community.
That's true.
It is. That's exactly what it is. It's an echo chamber. It's 100% an echo chamber. And the thing is that, like, bro, there are corporations coming together to create what they call a DAO, which is the fucking furthest thing away from what a real organic DAO is, to, pretty much shill these bags, man. Pretty much create this platform that even they're claiming in the terms of service on the other side website, you don't really own any commercial rights to, even if you own the deed. Like, they pretty much like started something that they're going to acknowledge is centralized through the means of a DAO, which is counterproductive towards the space as a whole. If you just dig deeper below the surface and read the terms of service, because there's no documentation for the platform yet. There's no true SDK out for the platform yet. The only thing you have is terms of service. It's really a shit show. And they broke Ethereum as well, bro. They pretty much just like utilize the technology in a way that wasn't intended to be used and completely bottleneck the network. Like it was a complete shit show.
But you can play the trailer on their website. Get over there fast.
Yeah. Well, also,
don't miss it.
Unpopular opinion though, Tenpound. 2 words: bit clout. When you do the raise, if it is organic and if it is from community, when you do the raise, there are a lot of tech problems you can solve by pushing it down the roadmap a little bit, right? Like we've seen this a couple of times with several different groups. So as long as it's not entirely just like a financial circle jerk, pardon the expression, of a few like high net worth individuals, like, all right, we gotta bootstrap this thing too, like, and then trying to make it seem like there's activity when there isn't really any. As long as there was a genuine raise there, they can solve a lot of problems really fast. BitClout did it too. We all thought they were going to get wrecked by the SEC for selling securities, trying to get people to purchase based on the influence and the names of established people who, in some cases in Hollywood, already have representation, right? Or in Major League Sports already have representation. Nah, they got away with it. They totally got away with it because they had the raise done first. So I mean, it's VC 101. Get the money, right? Secure the bag, build later. So
I have a question. I have a question for you guys. Do you think so? Let's make the assumption that at some point, along with all the other markets, the NFT market does take a dump. Let's just make that assumption, right? My question is, a lot of these people that have a bunch of Bored Apes, they bought them at incredibly cheap. I still kick myself because I had the opportunity to buy a Bored Ape at like $150 or something stupid like that. And so looking back on that, whatever, that's not the point of the story. My question to you guys is, at this point, the floor, I believe, is like 150 ETH. It's like $400,000 US dollars if we equate it. If the market, the NFT market, takes an absolute dump, what's happening with those assets? Are people just going to do the hodl? Are they just going to be hodl gang and just say, hey, at some point it's going to come back? Or are they going to be, hey, I'll sell it for $100K? You know what I mean? Like, what do we think is going to happen?
No, I think what's going to happen is like those projects that are actually blue chips in the NFT sector, they're going to get hedged, and they're going to get hedged hard. They're going to get hedged by some billionaire VCs, right? And nobody's going to give a damn. But your average community-based token that doesn't necessarily have any utility, such as Invisible Friends, right? Or like some other random token that, pretty much just has art, for the most part, those are the first ones to take a severe hit. Those are the blue chips that you can actually stake, yield, and generate income. And of course, they're being held by amazing, huge superstar sensations that you can hang out with in Discord and then even go on a boat and party with them in reality. And he's like, dude, those projects aren't going anywhere. They're not going to take a dump, if anything.
And like I said, Yuga Labs is creating ultra benefit for you holding these NFTs. So I just can't see that particular project doing that bad in a bear market, to be honest with you. But now the barrier to entry is so high, most people can't even get in to benefit from that. So
No,
you gotta be a superstar to get in.
99.9% of people can't get in. All right, there's a difference. Okay, there's a
We're talking about this, the Yuga Labs and the Bored Ape.
Yeah.
Like that. It was already we talked about this. It wasn't an organic project. It was already manipulated to do this. So to me,
right.
Just getting back at what the question or whatever, it's already a brand. Like
Right.
they're not going anywhere. I don't see this project going
Yep.
anywhere. They have enough capital. They have the people backing it, and they're going to manipulate it to whether it's they're coming out with just a website with a trailer, or they're coming out with a real project. They have a
So
brand.
I guess my question is, since most people, like Tenpound said, most people can't buy the actual NFT, is the ApeCoin a nice derivative play off of that, and maybe you can see a 10x, 20x from here with this coin?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Maybe. I think it's a giant. I think that's the right question, and I think that question, man, we have so many complex factors ahead of us. But I think that retail can be relied upon to do what retail always does, which is buy the
Exit
top
liquidity.
and sell the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So,
Yeah.
so you're going to see consolidation in the hands of these VCs, and you're going to see a lot of retail get very, very spooked, let stuff go at prices they shouldn't. They're going to sell on that whatever that 25% or that 80% drawdown, like Keeper was asking about before. And then, yeah, maybe, right, when nature starts to heal, then maybe you see that 10, 20x on ApeCoin. Maybe.
Ah, man, I don't know whether or not people should be speculating on this asset if I'm wholeheartedly telling the truth. Like, seriously, because it's just a governance token for a DAO. That's not really a DAO. And I don't necessarily think that these whales are going to let people just like come in and make profit, honestly, on this project. Like, they'd rather dump their bags on a bunch of noobs, like as MineYourBiz practically alluded to. Yeah, man, I just
I don't
find it
know, man. It's
difficult.
part of the brand. It's part of the brand now, though, and they've put that out there. So they would basically, if they were going to do that and use the noobs as exit liquidity, it would be saying, "Hey, we're willing to take a hit to our brand to full on make some money, and the hit to the brand might be more expensive than the exit liquidity that they were trying to extract." That's a balancing act there.
Yeah, but maybe that already happened, especially with what happened last night. Who's to say it didn't happen? Especially with the huge drawdown of ApeCoin.
That's a good point.
So you're speculating this is their exit scam?
I think so. I think for the most part, man, I don't think it's an exit scam. I think it's a red herring.
Okay.
I can see
Yeah.
that.
What's that?
Can't disagree.
Blood, I think you're muted.
Yep. Thank you. So let's move on to the last article for tonight, which is more relevant. I like these types of articles, man. Privacy. I love privacy. Bitcoin, you can leverage and do that. I love that about this space. We're going to talk about Zcash. And man, I was pretty shocked at this. I mean, I guess I shouldn't have been, but I was just like, wow, this came out of left field. But it looks like your boy Edward Snowden was a part of the Zcash initial ceremony. Back what year was this? I can't even remember. I remember this happening, but I don't remember what year this was. 2016. Yeah. What's your take on? First of all, I want to know from you guys, like, what's your take on privacy coins in general? I'm skeptical of them because I'm not too sure of future encryption capabilities. Not
MineYourBiz,
today.
hit it. I know you're chomping at the bit, bro.
How much
He's
time
like,
do we
come on,
have?
pick me.
How much time do we have? That's always the question on this topic.
We got about 40 minutes, so
Might not be enough. So, I mean, I don't disagree. Shout out to the Monero team and Monero Labs because they invite that kind of skepticism, Blood, like you're saying, and you meet somebody who's part of the Monero community at an event, and they'll say like, okay, what do you got? You got skepticism? Bring any question, and I'll sit down with you anywhere, right? Like they'll pull up a chair, they'll cop a squat, they'll go to lunch, they'll treat you to lunch, whatever, and they'll just say like, hey, try to break Monero with me, try to punch holes in my, in my assumptions. Try to shatter my belief window. But then groups like this, the Zcash community, they say, no, you don't understand. ZK snarks are flawless and our coin is perfect, and we needed to have compliance because if we didn't have compliance, then we'd be kicked off every exchange. But also, did we mention it's perfect? So like that makes me skeptical when a project says like, no, we give you the right amount of privacy that you need. It's like, nah, man, now you're making serious assumptions because you're not inviting dissent, you're not inviting improvement and whatever else. But with Zcash in particular, man, I've got a bone to pick with Zcash. Not Zuko in particular, but I've got a bone to pick with Zcash. It uses a technology called ZK snarks to achieve its privacy. It's just, right, it's just a tool, a piece of code. But that particular tool, ZK snarks, well, guess what else uses those? Tornado Cash. So you got Ethereum, you've got USDT, you've got USDC, you've got DAI stablecoin. You've actually got WBTC, wrapped Bitcoin on Ethereum, that all do the exact same thing that Zcash does. You have your cake, you eat it too.
That's why we haven't seen Zcash around really a lot of talking about them. At least I haven't.
Why would you, right? If you could have your wrapped Bitcoin like Tenpound was talking about before, right? If you can have your yield and you can keep it private too, I mean, it's the killer app. It gets people off of the main chain for Bitcoin, and it gets people off of these like privacy only coins where that's the one trick that pony knows too, right? Like Bitcoin, it's hard currency. Well, cool. Can you make the number go up? Because if you can, I'll take it wrapped. I'll go LP. I'll grow my bag passively and decentrally. But I'm not giving it to Celsius. I'm not giving it to whoever to make that bag grow. So with Zcash in particular, I just want to jump back and say that everything Zcash can do, Ethereum and EVM style chains like this new one from Yuga Labs, because all the Solidity smart contracts are out there and they're free now.
Right.
Like every EVM chain can do it. Zcash does not offer anything of value at all, in my opinion.
No competitive advantage. I got you.
Yeah.
£10.
I think Zcash is out of the top 100 for a reason as well. And for the most part, it just goes to show, man, never submit to, intimidation by these regulatory authorities. Because if so, the community will pretty much crucify you and your chain because that's pretty much what happened.
Do you think this was a last-ditch marketing ploy by Zcash? Like, oh, we're going to go ahead and leak that Edward Snowden was a part of our Genesis key, Was that something you think possibly was the case?
I think maybe. I think for the most part, Edward Snowden is not necessarily looked at as an American hero, even though, in my opinion, I think he should be. I agree. It could have been like probably an edgy play if you want to make that case. But no, I think it would do more damage than good, especially to the people in the intelligence community in my backyard. So,
Keeper.
Yeah, I've got something to add to that too. Sorry.
Go ahead. Absolutely. We got time, baby. We got time.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's a can of worms, man. Snowden, I agree with Tenpound on in a lot of ways. I think whistleblowers should be viewed with more leniency here than they are, and he's on that short list, right, of whistleblowers that should be recognized for their contribution. Still, that ceremony, 2016. Let's look back at the timeline. Where in the world was Edward Snowden at the time? Not in the United States, right?
Sure.
Nowhere near it. Right. So he was in Mother Russia, being literally babysat by the FSB while he's going through this trusted setup ceremony. He's one of 6, but we can safely presume that the FSB is treating this guy like gold. I mean, he hasn't been taken out. He hasn't, and I mean that in the, in the Black Ops sense, right? There's nobody internationally, right? MI6 can't get to him. CIA hasn't touched him yet that we know of, but he's definitely being babysat by Mother Russia's finest.
You gotta wonder why, right?
Yeah, it's kind of incredible that he's not a prisoner of war at this point. If you ask me. Like getting he's getting the silver spoon treatment over there, man. The platinum spoon treatment. That Russian oligarch money.
Yeah, but then he's going and being a part of this privacy, this what they call the trusted setup privacy ceremony that was needed for Zcash's original setup, and nobody's like, that's not making headlines anywhere, and I'm still asking why, right? Like, okay, I like Snowden and what he did in terms of whistleblowing. I think it's important. It's a valuable thing, and we shouldn't treat whistleblowers like criminals. Like we really shouldn't. But now, because of that whistleblower status here in the United States, the way we villainize them, he de facto becomes the absolute hero of all these other countries throughout the world. Anybody who doesn't like the United States. And then he's babysat. So while he's in exile, right? While he's here in Russia, and we can just presume it's a pretty safe presumption. I mean, please, somebody like check me on this. Am I off base in thinking that he was probably being babysat by the FSB at that time?
Had to have been.
But then he's setting up privacy.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And then he's setting up privacy coin, and now they're trotting this out like, oh wow, it's Zcash. It's the privacy coin you can trust because of Edward Snowden, who was being babysat by the FSB at the time he set it up. Am I?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Yeah, I think they did this on purpose, bro. I think it was a last ditch PR effort to make Zcash still be relevant and get back in the top 100 coins.
I mean, Snowden has been, pumping Zcash from its inception. He's been a big proponent. Like, he's always mentioned it. So this article didn't shock me that he was one of the, in the original ceremony, whatever. But I mean, this, I thought I don't think privacy coins are going to take off as much, simply because just like we have the issues with people onboarding to crypto, there's a disconnect with, the technology of the users, the newer users, and the people that are, that come into crypto. And so when you're talking about privacy coins and stuff like that, they don't even know how to use the regular protocols. How they're going to use, what are they going to know about the privacy aspect? But I mean, yeah, I agree with you as far as the, he being babysat. I'm not a big fan of, I'm not a fan of Snowden. I think he was a little naive.
In what way?
I think he thought there was going to be a more outrage with the information he released. And honestly, a lot of the stuff that he exposed, we didn't know the depths of it, but you knew that, these governments were spying on citizens. But if you look at the reaction, honestly, it wasn't like a extreme tidal wave where people, look at the results. People have it. There's no big push to stop this type of tracking and to stop this type of surveillance.
Yeah.
Like, to me,
I disagree there, but
it's
sorry, I'll let you finish, but I disagree.
You did well.
I do.
I just don't. Me personally, I haven't seen the wave of backlash as far as towards these government entities of spying on the citizens. But that's just my opinion.
Speak on it, Seth. Let me hear,
right.
because I want to touch on that too. Go ahead, Seth. What were you about to say?
Yeah, sure. The pushback towards governments, I think you're probably right, but that's because we voted on it in the early 90s. We told the NSA asked politely with due process about it, and the American people said no with our votes. We thought that it mattered, right? We thought that we could tell them no, and so we did. And what they did was fully illegal because they went out of their way to ask permission, and then we basically codified it in the law by telling the NSA, no, you may not do mass wiretapping. No, you may not do mass surveillance. And they went ahead and did it anyway. Yeah, I love this GIF, by the way. That is precisely why on none of the phones in my home will you ever find
Your
nudes. Yeah, because they don't exist, because they've never been taken. And why I also have like every other device in a Faraday bag. Thank you very much. So
I hear that.
yeah. So
Keeper, what's your take?
Were you finishing? I didn't want to cut you off. What were you finishing saying, MineYourBiz?
No, go ahead. Go ahead, mine.
With the government though, like, I mean, we haven't told them no in those terms, but I mean the cottage industry for stuff like that, dude, you can get a 4-pack of these on Amazon shipped in 2 days because they're selling like hotcakes, these Faraday bags. And then you've got services like Proton Mail.
Explain. So people watching may not understand what a Faraday bag is or a box. Can you explain that to them? It's
a tinfoil hat for your phone. That's literally what it is. It blocks any radio signals so that the cell phone carrier can't contact you or trace the chip inside of your phone. So
yeah, but it also
protects. It's the only way to stop it.
It also protects from some sort of like EMP as well,
right,
which is very important.
Yeah, I don't think I can add a ton of value to the Zcash part of it in particular, but I will say that I think that there's a ton of value in the privacy coin space. I think that when we look at the crypto space as a whole right now, and I think that as we get farther and farther into it, it's going to get worse and worse. We have more and more people onboarding that are not crypto centric. They are how quick can I get rich centric, and that's all they're coming in for. They're coming in not for the movement. They're not coming in to be their own bank. They're not coming in to take the middleman out of the equation. They're coming in and saying, hey, can I make money? And in their minds, that money is fiat currency, right? What I'm guessing the most of the panel is saying, how much Bitcoin, how much ETH can I stack? How many sats can I stack? And so I think that comes from being in for longer, being in for multiples of years for sure. But the privacy side of it, part of the beautiful thing about it is right now, we have now signed up for, I think we've signed our own death warrant as it relates to crypto at the same time as we are benefiting from it financially. Why I say that is because of the fact that it is a public open ledger. We are setting ourselves up to say, okay, government, you want to watch anything and everything we do, just move on everything over onto the blockchain, right? It sounded great at first, and now we're moving more and more towards this system where, you know, a social credit system of sorts. And so I like the privacy side of it, because let me give you an example. The NFT project, let's say you have a bunch of money that you are devoting to a treasury, okay? And then you have people that will start wallet watching. They start literally watching your wallets and microscopically checking all of the transactions, right? Well, guess what? You're allowed to make money on some things and you be as transparent as you want, but the reality is everybody doesn't need to know where every single Satoshi goes to, right? So you have things like Tornado Cash. You have things like privacy coins that enable you just to have privacy. It doesn't mean that you are sex trafficking. It doesn't mean that you're selling drugs. It means, hey, you don't need to know where every single dollar is going, where every single Satoshi is going. So I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's important. And I think long term, we need to figure out what's that look like, because the government is going to come in and say, privacy coins, excuse me, absolutely not. They're going to be mashing down hard.
So does that mean that the value of these coins will go lower or higher?
Listen, I want to add, I agree with you know, Mind Your Crypto. Not my, well, yeah. I agree with his last statements. But again, the issue becomes is the knowledge of that user that just wants to get rich. And that is the norm, unfortunately, because they're more in mass. And they will dictate the market. And it just as they have the lack of knowledge of the privacy coins, they have the lack of knowledge of, you know, they might be aware that the government is spying on them. But I stand by my opinion. I just don't see the overwhelming push against the government and the NSA of these policies.
It's because people are weak.
Exactly.
People are scared. It's inconvenient. It's inconvenient to fight against what the government is doing. It makes life a little bit uncomfortable. It puts you on a list. It says, hey, this person is not for what everybody else is. It's the herd. It's the sheep mentality that we have in this country right now. It is the free speech side of things that's getting shut down. Nope, you can't say that. You can't say this. I'm going to tell you when you can say it. And oh yeah, my fact checkers are actually checking opinions and giving opinions at the same time. I think it all boils down to that same thing. And people like and do what's most convenient. If it makes their life easier, they're all about it. If it makes things inconvenient, well, then maybe I'll back off.
Yeah, and there's an uncanny valley there too. I agree with both of you, actually, Keeper as well. There's an uncanny valley there between being a nut job and then being a freedom fighter, right? Like, and everywhere in between, people are like, yeah, no, you're still just a nut job until you're like a multi-billionaire like Elon Musk, and then you're all of a sudden like your contributions in that space have value because he's saying you disrupt it so much that people left, right, and center all are angry or all happy or equally. So yeah, unfortunately, you're right. Retail. Being the way that retail is, doing what retail does, they wind up being kind of risk averse and kind of wanting to have the herd mentality. But I do think still, like I'm going to stand by what I said. Default, I think you're right. There's a lot of retail that does really, really bad things, but it's growing. It's growing. It has really bad habits, rather, and that they're not standing up for privacy and they're not pushing back against the things that should be pushed back against. But it's growing, and it's evidenced within retail, right? Like the fact that this product category, like a Faraday bag and other associated products, the fact that it's growing so much, or a privacy shield, right? Like I carry a privacy shield on my phones because we do crypto, right? Like I don't want somebody seeing what's on my screen. These products are growing in popularity. Retail is catching on, but it might not be at the rate we want. It might not be in the way we want. And that's our opportunity as educators in the crypto space, right? Like that's my piece. I'm sticking to that. Like if it means that I get more of the audience share by talking about these things in a timely way, then so be it. But I think we all have an opportunity there.
Yeah, I think for the most part, what we need to see is the adoption of privacy coins on a mobile scale, where people are able to mine privacy coins from their phone, like Electroneurium, which is a fork of Electronium. It's sort of like projects like that, where people can sort of have privacy mobile, where, there's like a social media app running in the background. People are able to message each other, and share photos, etc. But even like mask their identity, choose to even blur out their face if they want to.
Tenpound, they've got some wallets right now, like Wasabi Wallet is an example, and it essentially is a mixer in the form of a wallet, and it hides and handles some of your privacy things. It is a movement. It is happening. It is out there. It's just that a lot of people.
Wasabi is just for mixing Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, it is just for
I don't know if it's just
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin or not. I'm not positive. But
it is just Bitcoin.
It is just Bitcoin, and I'm going to circle back to that in a minute. Wasabi is to be avoided. I've got a different recommendation, but I like where you're going. And you're
Samurai.
right. It's just Wasabi ain't the one. Yes, Samurai.
We'll keep Wasabi.
Well, here's the thing. Like getting people involved in Bitcoin mixers and whatnot. Sure, that's a form of like privacy coins. But I think like getting people to truly understand the importance of privacy coins means like making it as easy as using Instagram, pretty much. Like that's how you're really going to get somebody's attention. Otherwise, people are going to be like, what privacy, what blockchain, huh? Nah, dude, it's not going to work.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I love Tornado Cash, and I love the various forks of Tornado Cash across all the different EVM chains. I mean, it's as simple as us. There are a couple of projects that have, I think, a Tornado Cash native wallet for Ethereum. I don't have a ready recommendation there because I love what you've been disclaiming for all of us, like enough for all of us on this live stream, Tenpound, which is smart. So I don't have a recommendation there, but having those smart contracts on EVM chains, that's kind of the get out of jail free card. It makes privacy easy because you can build that into a wallet and just say this is the default behavior for the wallet. You don't have to have like well, actually, you kind of do. ZK snarks are a little bit compute intensive, but they are mobile capable now. So you can run Tornado Cash from a phone if you needed to. And you could run that in a wallet client if you needed to. And it can be made that easy, but then you're kind of locked into EVM chains. IBC doesn't have anything quite like this, right? Cosmos, their secret network, but there's nothing quite like secret network right now. But EVM chains, this is a problem that's been solved. So if you want to make it as simple as I'm just sending this to your wallet, but I want to make this particular send private and sever the link on chain, well, Tornado Cash as a protocol already solves that problem for Ethereum. Most of the stable coins are at the majors, USDT, USDC, DAI, and then wrap Bitcoin. But like that problem is solved.
Tenpound's right though. Like
shout out to Tenpound for putting me up on Tornado Cash like last year.
It needs to be what Tenpound said though, for sure. Like it needs to be simple. And so the moment that, listen, do we all understand how HTTPS, like the protocols and everything with the internet work? I've heard people use that as an example before. Well, no, most people aren't going to understand that. I think we talked about that last time I was on here. Mm-hmm. But the reality is if we can make something that's simple, the user experience is straightforward, and it's, oh, okay, so I put it here and then I send it here, and they don't need to truly understand the inner workings as long as they understand, okay, this is what's happening between point A and point B. Fantastic. As you know, I think you're right. I think it needs to be simple and straightforward.
Yeah, but taking it a step further, it's like, instead of logging in to like, a social media site, you're pretty much like, logging into a wallet. And when you log into that wallet, you start mining mobily, like you're mining as you're logging in, like you're pretty much like
you're data mining essentially.
Yes, essentially that's the idea. Whenever people log in, they're pretty much just turning on their miner, and whenever you log out, you're turning off your miner. That's the idea in a sense. But like every single block is private. Every single hash is private. Like, it's just, in a sense, possible. It's already been done, but like nobody's really like added a social aspect to it. That way, like if people want to expose certain aspects of their business or certain aspects of themselves, they can communicate freely within the application. I haven't seen any developers use, social toolings within wallets such as that.
I have not. Have any of you heard of Pegasus 2? I know about Pegasus. MineYourBiz, are you familiar with the upgrade?
No, I thought it was
spyware.
Yeah, I thought it was referring to the NSO groups Pegasus, which is why I made my little.
I'm
comment
assuming.
there.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what he's talking about. I don't know. Maybe he'll go further with it. I don't know. But yeah, Pegasus. That's we can do a whole live stream on that one, boy. Oh my God, that is no good.
Steam. I liked Steam and whatnot, trading a few tokens on BitShares that were like derivatives of the Steam tokens, etc. And I think Steam did a lot of things right with logging in with your wallet, and like you'd have like multiple keys that could OSI layers. What was that?
What is that? I don't know. I'm not sure. They picked a bad name.
Yeah, they did. But yeah, I think social chains, social blockchains are most definitely the future, in my opinion. If you're gonna build an alt, a lot of these VCs, man, they don't really care about social apparatuses. They turn to NFTs to be a social apparatus, instead of just like building in the functionality natively into the application.
OSI is the Open Systems Interconnection Model. It describes 7 layers that computer systems use to communicate over a network.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Just giving you the
Pegasus 2 within OSI? Or are you referring to the NSO group, the Israeli InfoSec group, or the Israeli hacker group, NSO, and their widespread malware, Pegasus?
Countries are paying millions of dollars for one usage of it, but it can get into any phone. Now they don't even need you to open the link. All they have to do is send you a text message to your phone, and that gives them access to all of your information. It is very crazy. Go look that up, ladies.
What?
I don't even know how you can protect yourself. You can't even protect yourself from it. Really, mind your biz.
No, it's memory buffer overflow. Memory buffer overflow, and they did it before. That's how they penetrated WhatsApp, was memory buffer overflow. They sent you a video file that you didn't have to open. That's why people who say like, I've got an iPhone, it's so secure, and I'm always making fun of iPhones, because I mean it's a matter of dates, it's a matter of when, not if.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, we'll end it on that note. That's crazy information. Hope you guys are gobbling up all that from this great panel tonight. Let's go ahead and go around the block here with my man, all up in your mentions, aka Default. How can they find you, man?
Or that's where you can find me on Twitter, and I also do a segment here on Crypto Plus channel every week. Market analysis take, and I will be having I'll be releasing my own channel this week. Doing more, in depth, looking at the markets from a technical analysis perspective. So
nice,
watch out for that.
Man. Sounds good. Go follow my man Default when you guys get a chance. CryptoKeeper in the house. Where can they find you?
Yeah, we've got Debate Crypto over on YouTube. Well, here on YouTube it's Debate Crypto, and then our Twitter handle is Debate Crypto OG, which he's showing right now. Ultimately, the best way you could support us is to either jump into our Discord or follow us on our other Twitter handle, which is Danger Close Alpha without the A on the end. That's our NFT.
Can you
project.
real quick shill your shit? I want you to
tell
me about your NFT project coming up. I was on your show.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. I'll make it super easy. We're taking this survivalist community and combining the crypto community. The crypto community is ultimately preparing for the fall of the dollar. The survivalist community is just preparing for a fall. We want people to be able to be prepared and ready, and we're actually using real life utility. When I say real life utility, we are sending people to preparedness camps. We are sending people. We are doing a backpacking trip. We are doing things in real life with survivalist experts, and that's part of what we're doing. We want to bring people to the realization that, hey, things could get sideways, and if they do, are you ready with your family would you be able to protect your family? We're doing ammo giveaways. We've got all sorts of shooting range stuff that we're doing, like real life stuff. So I appreciate you, bro. Thanks.
What's up? What's up? Mind your biz.
Hey, it says MineYour.biz. That's the name of the website. I'm on Twitter under MineYour_biz. And then I'm here on YouTube as well, starting a second channel that is for slightly more simple explanations. Talked to Blood about that before the show. We're still in stealth mode, though, so the main thing is the MineYourBiz channel on YouTube. Appreciate you having me back, man. It's always fun.
Absolutely. And Tim Peasy.
Hey, you can find me on Twitter at TPS0011. Of course, that is my sort of like pseudonym on Twitter, but also I have a project that is also an NFT project that I'm launching under Bolt VR. Yeah, man, it's pretty much the almost opposite of what your boy CryptoKeeper is doing. This is something completely digital. I think people can be prepared digitally as well. They can train themselves through simulation in virtual reality. And yeah, that's pretty much what the idea is.
We should link up. We should link up, bro. Maybe we could talk about that, both sides of it.
100%. Yeah, I'd be glad to. Yeah, it's pretty much that.
All right, that sounds good. That sounds good. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. That's another episode off the chain. We out of here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, another episode under the belt. Episode 75 off the chain on CBTV. Make sure you guys go follow Default, CryptoKeeper, Tenpound, and my man MineYourBiz. Links in the description below. We out of here, people. Of course, like, share, and subscribe.
Got me sipping brown water, but it ain't from Flint. Trying to chase